Mic check 2 1 2. Mic check 2 1 2. All right, so it seems like the audio is working just fine. Mic check 2 1 2. All right, so it seems like the audio is working just fine. Mic check 2 1 2. All right, so it seems like working just fine. 2 1 2. All right, so it seems like the audio is working just fine. What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys have been having a good Thursday. Let's get into it, man. Hopefully, you guys been having a great week so far. Hopefully, your Thursday was good. This is Friday Eve. So hopefully you guys have been having a good week at work. Hopefully your boss isn't doing anything ridiculous at work and stressing you out. What's going on, Dwayne? What's going on, Joni? Glad to see some of you guys back in here on the late night. You know, the kids are all home, tucked in, so we can get real tonight on the real night, late night talk. So you guys see the title of the live stream. Some guys just won't understand women. They will never truly understand women. Women will forever be their downfall. And women have been the downfall of many men, powerful men, etc. So understanding women is essential for your success as a man. You know, people on the internet, they'll say, you know, focus on your purpose and work out and get money first before you start talking to women, and the women will just come. Well, if you just do that, you'll never and not engage with women. Well, you're not know the different strategies and tactics because you spent years, damn different, spin on the live stream, because you spent years focusing on your purpose, that you haven't been social, you haven't been hip to the games that women play. So when the women do come because you're successful and in shape, you'll think it's because of what you got. And it's only because of what you got. They're gold digging and they're using you, but you won't know that because you haven't been dealing with women and you don't know the different games and the manipulation tactics. And so what do? You work all this time to get in shape and to get the money just to lose it to a woman because you were unbalanced. So understanding women is an essential, and talking to women consistently, not 100, not, I wouldn't say over 60% of the time, but at least 20 to 30% of the time, you need to engage with women just to see and get hip to their tactics. We got players are in the building. We got Nicholas Porter in the building saying knowledge is power. It's good to see you in here on the late night. Knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is even better. And that's the problem with these men today. And we're going to get into it. It's going to be a very informative live stream. So I got some talking points lined up for you guys, and then I'll go through a point and then I'll read some of the comments in between it. So this is going to be a very highly engaging, valuable, hopefully live stream for you guys. So There was one thing that I wanted to mention this morning about the Chris Brown concert and what I learned about not just women, but in society and what pop culture has um, really spread across mass media. Is one thing that I did notice, and it came from the DJ, and it just came from, it's an R&B concert, so it's catered primarily to women. And I'm not mad about it in that aspect, but I did notice there's a lot of subtle subliminal messaging, a lot of, uh, let's just call it what it is. There's a lot of women worship. There's a lot of women worship going on in today's society. And you're getting programmed to be a simp, not only from a little kid, but on a consistent basis. So this is why you guys can listen to Andrew Tate all day, every day. But if you do not listen to it repetitively, consistently, and you do not act on the knowledge in your real life, the repetitive programming that you're receiving from all sides, social media, sports and pop culture, and just your own family and friends, you automatically go back into that simp mindset, because that stuff is everywhere, and you have to actually work hard to be a person that doesn't fall into that simpish mindset and listen to these different outlets, because they're giving it to you on a consistent basis. As you guys come in here, hit the like button for me. And so this is how we get guys that they'll be quote unquote, female nature and all of this kind of crazy stuff. And then they'll get fooled back into it once they get into a relationship, because they stop listening to the message. Detroit Coalition, shout out to you, man. Glad to see you in here this morning. He said, PUAs, there's no new game under the sun. Yeah. And plus, that's the problem as well, Detroit. A lot of men today, they think that we can just keep talking these talking points. And women have already adjusted. They've listened and they've heard these podcasts. They know what you want to hear. This is why they come out with Cheyenne Bryant and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Sadia Khan, to throw loops in the message and to show that most men are still not listening. Because all it takes is a beautiful woman, and then you fall right back into your default setting. Sadia Khan's attractive. She's across everywhere pretending to be a relationship expert. Not in a relationship. She's a side chick. It's exposed. And then you got Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who's not even a doctor, and she's not even in a relationship. She's just been one of these people getting smashed out on the carousel on a consistent basis. But men will put them on the platform because they're talking the right talking points and they're attractive. So there is nothing new under the sun. It's really what it is, guys. And it's the same thing in football. It's the same thing in sports. You can know that Michael Jordan is going to back you down in the post and you're going to do a fake and fade away, but can you stop it? You know Barry Sanders is going to get the ball 20, 30 times a game, but can you stop it though? You know what women's games are after you've dealt with them on a consistent basis, and you know all the different talking points, and you read the books, and you done all this stuff. You watched the podcast, hours of podcasts. But when the woman comes up to you in real life and she has the curves, she has the long hair, can you still apply the knowledge? And I see a lot of men failing at that. It was the saying going on in the manosphere, red pill space, and I don't really. I do watch some of those people, because some of what they're saying is you can learn from anybody, but I'm not a red pill person as far as like their ideology and the manosphere ideology. I'm just here to speak the truth. But there was a saying that they did have that is 100% true. Most men are just one blowjob away from the plantation. One woman sends you attractiveness, she strokes your Johnson, and now you've forgotten all of what female nature is. All of the deception because you got the orgasm that you were wanting your entire life. And then you realize, damn, I don't really hate women. I just never had an orgasm. Like you said, Nicholas writes, once you try and get results, like you said, apply knowledge when you know the game and have to have results. Yep, you have to apply the knowledge, guys, or you're going to. Because women are extremely slick. Their games are it's an infinite. You have to really be a critical thinker because their game constantly changes. It's not, they don't use just one strategy. Oh, she's doing this strategy that this guy talked about on a podcast. Most of the time, they're using 2, 3 strategies at the same time. And they always got that ultimate trump card, which is between her legs. The game, Detroit writes, the game is stop trying to turn 304s into housewives. That's true. All of your examples of females are whorish. Women aren't the enemy. Our our penises are. Yeah, most guys can't control their lust for women, and it gets them to a lot of trouble. And some guys are just naive. You know, these 304s, they get very clever in their deception. Women are capable of acting as nefarious characters for long periods of time. So when we see these celebrities and we see these guys, we're like, damn, man, like, why couldn't you just see through the signs? Well, and while he was dealing with that woman, she was probably giving him, love bombing him and telling him everything that he wants to hear. So she never really popped up who she truly was to the last minute. Because that's how women hunt. They hunt like trapdoor spiders. So, yeah, I mean, the 304s, they get clever once they get older because they want to settle down and they know they have to lie in order to get a man into their, to get a man to marry them. So that's how they lure you in with trying to be a good woman. But you know, if she was a good woman, she would have been married by now. She's 30 years old. You knew she's been getting piped down for the entire time. But that's the problem. Most of these women the average woman is not a good woman. Just like the average man is probably not a good man, not a leader. When a woman is 50-50 into you, it just means you got to be better. This is how I see it. I don't even take it personally. You just have to step up and be more. Yeah, exactly. That's part of the game. Like, dudes don't understand. Like, that's part of the game. Like, if I took a chick to the Chris Brown concert and Chris Brown and his entourage comes up and they say, hey, we want your girl to come up, and she takes that offer, I'm like, well, Chris Brown makes more money. He has more status. I understand that. Go. The only thing with me is don't come back to me. I'm not a cuckold. I'm not a cuckold. You can do it. I can understand why when Brad Pitt slides into your DMs, you want to go over there. I understand it. I'm not blaming you. I'm not trying here to control you. Just don't come back to me. You know, our relationship is over. And that's a truth that men can't accept, unfortunately. But the thing that men are always easily fooled by beauty. It's easy to, and the thing is, Nicholas, and I'm sure you guys when you watch certain content creators, like some of these people, they go batshit crazy on these women. Like I was watching a TikTok where this woman failed a loyalty test, and then this dude got all up in the woman's face and was intimidating her and like calling her the B word and all that. I'm like, homie, you ain't gotta do all that. Just get rid of the chick. She failed the loyalty test. Well, you failed the loyalty test. It's disappointing, but we can't continue this relationship. I gotta let you go. I can't trust you. I gotta let you go. That's it. You ain't gotta go off on the chick, call the chick a B word, expose her on the internet. Just let the chick be a 304. She was a 304 before you met her. Apparently, you found out. Let her go. Let her fly. Let them wild horses fly. Let them cowgirls go. Detroit writes, then you were dating a whore the whole time. The whole stadium isn't leaving the CB with leaving the CB. So Detroit came in this tonight being combative. I see you, Detroit. You keep us balanced over here. We don't have to agree. I've seen way too much, brother, to trust any woman in today's society. You live in modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. The average woman is not a good woman. You can't trust anything and anybody in society today. They've been ran through. They don't believe in religion, not one bit. So you're going to have to go, either going to have to settle for something less than what you want. I mean, I went out to the damn Chris Brown concert and I'm noticing all these women are just unattractive. They're overweight. There's an eating problem in America. The attractive ones, they're monetized. Because dudes are tricks now. They're willing to pay whatever price it is to get between them legs. So this culture is not good for dating culture. I just don't expect much from women, but a lot from myself. I'm just trying to bag beautiful women who likes me a lot. Yeah, shout out to you, Nicholas. And that's the goal of all of it. I mean, guys, we like to pretend like we're self-improving for our own sake. It's like, no, part of it is because you want a woman. Let's be real. You want a woman, you want an attractive woman, you want a quality woman. That's why you get the Benz. That's why you get the 2-story house. That's why you get the jewelry. You want to attract a woman. You don't do the shit for guys. We don't care about the shit. A guy can live in an apartment and have a mattress on the ground and just have a TV and be having his best life, and have a lawn chair and a video game set and be having his best life. It's the women that need all this extra stuff. So and this is what guys have to understand when you're listening to anything. And this is what makes life so hard. We can know the knowledge all day. Dave Ramsey, he's a very successful millionaire. Grant Cardone, very successful in real estate. All these people, Deion Sanders, they can tell you exactly what it takes to be successful. It's just the consistent effort and executing each and every day that gets the average person. And it's the same thing with knowledge. It's the same thing with women. If you do not get your reps in, you can know all you want to know about female. You can read all the books you want to read. You can do all that stuff. But can you act? And once you see the red flags to the woman, can you act on that and get rid of her? Because she's going to start crying. She's going to play the victim. She's going to put on this acting show that is immaculate. And can you see through it and still discard her? That's the game. That's when you know you're truly learning and applying what you're learning about quote unquote women. Nicholas writes, low expectations with them, but high for myself. It still hurts when romance doesn't work out, but I level up for the next. And yeah, women are extremely good actors. I've had women cry real tears, and she was lying the entire time. Most dudes, once a woman start crying, they're like, oh yeah, she gotta be telling the truth. Nope. Detroit writes, there you go. The ones that you're attracted to are not attractive to not be whores, are too attractive. The ones that you're attracted to are too attractive to not be whores. The ones who don't meet your visual purposes don't get your attention, question mark. So the problem is either attractive women or unattractive women, never the dude, huh? I mean, Detroit, I could clearly said on this live stream that you've been on this entire time that dudes are just as lost as the women. There's really no good people in today's society. And so, I mean, I understand that you disagree, but I mean, if you just want to disagree, we can just disagree. I mean, I'm not here to convince you. You're not going to change me because I done seen way too much, bro. So, I mean, hey, if you want to believe women, hashtag believe all women, hey, bro, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not ever following a woman. I'm not ever following the leadership behind a woman. That's, if you want to do that, if you want to believe women and just believe they're angels and they read the Bible each and every night and they scroll through scripture and live by it without a man. Now, I do agree with the premises that men have gotten so weak that in turn the women have gotten out of hand. I do agree with that. Men have gotten so weak that it allows women to be just run rampant. But women create a lot of single mother households because the government gives them incentive to. Win or lose, it's best we become our best self and try. It's amazing feeling when it all comes true. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to be bums. I mean, the cost of living, guys, I mean, I'm going to make a post tomorrow morning. The cost of living, I mean, they're laying off left and right, guys. Left and right. And so pretty soon, guys, and then the job market's just going to keep getting worse is what they're predicting. So you're going to have to boss up, like Nicholas is saying. You're going to have to self-improve. You're going to have to get in the gym. You're going to have to work out. You're going to have to make some money and talk to women so you know their tactics. You know, engage women 10, 20% of your time. Definitely not definitely not the number one priority. But because what's another trick that's going to happen, women, they go to college, they go to education, they get all of this debt, they get all these different degrees that don't really mean anything in the big scheme of things. And so they're getting into a whole bunch of debt. Then on top of that, they got credit card debt. Then they got, consumer debt because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses and keep up with women. And they got all this expensive makeup and expensive hairdos and everything. And their lives financially are in shambles. And so they're going to put on a show and present their best self in front of you to a wealthy guy once you do self-improve because they want you to save them from what their financial troubles they've created while they were running around being single. Exactly, because you got to get your practice in. You got to get your practice in. And so the thinking game, life is a thinking game. You'll never get anywhere just off of your physical labor. Everything depends on your quality of thought. Your quality of thought determines where you get in life. He said, I'm here to help the red pills. I'm not red pill, bro. I'm not manosphere. I'm just here to talk this real shit. Who need to hear and hear the real about how to find some happiness. Yeah, life. I do agree. Life is about happiness, and I do believe a lot of those guys are hated in those red pill places. They legitimately do hate women, and they hide away from society and complain with no good solutions. It's a good one out here for some dudes. Yeah, I believe that. But some will always blame the world around them. Yeah, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. But yeah, dude, I'm not a red pill. Whether you claim it or not. We talk this real shit. The manosphere. And then people don't know me, bro. Andrew Tate and them don't know me. We have similar beliefs when it comes to certain stuff, but Andrew Tate is a freaking PIMP, bro. He gets women to become his girlfriends and then he turns them into cam girls. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in calling a woman a B word just for the F of it because you pissed off that she cheated on you. Let that woman go, bro. I don't agree with Myron getting all these different people on Fresh and Fit. And all these women aren't quality women. They argue with 304s all day. I'm not manosphere, bro. I see through their games too. A lot of them are posing too. And they're fooling the men on this side. Just like Sadia Khan and all them other people that are fooling men, there's guys out here that you see Fresh in them, they got into the situations. So they got into the situations because they don't really follow what they follow as well. You see Myron, his girlfriend left. He's on camera saying that she's the best thing that ever happened to him and all this excessive stuff and a lot of other stuff that's a question mark. And I mean, all these places have been infiltrated. I mean, what's his name? Sneeko. I mean, he's a homosexual. MLD. A lot of these guys they just got on the internet. A lot of these guys were truly losers in real life. Because what my complaints are is the quality. I can get sex tomorrow. I can get a date. There's nothing better than being loved by a beautiful woman. Yeah, exactly. We all need, I mean, that's the thing, Nicholas, with these red pills, and I'm sure Detroit can attest to that. You know, they actually hate women. They always think a woman is playing a game. I don't always believe in that, but I will say this. You know, if you're not hip to it, you will fall victim to it. But we all want physical touch from a woman. Having intercourse is with women and getting affection and treatment well from women is what we all desire and do and gain success for. So we all want affection from women, even if it's just for the sex. We all want this stuff. So yeah, we're our own. I'm my own thing, bro. Like I keep I keep telling you guys, bro. Society, you cannot trust most things in society. They're lies, they're co-opted, they're propaganda. And that's at every level, political, whatever it is. But back to the live stream. Some men would just not understand, will just always be fooled by women. And it's unfortunate because their lives will always suffer. I've seen a lot of men that were successful, that could conquer the world. But when it came to women understanding their manipulation tactics, understanding the certain games they play, they failed every time. Easily duped, easily fooled out of their money, their resources, their fame, their reputation. And the thing is, guys, it's going to be hard for you to override. And I get it. It's hard for most men to override their simp training that they've gotten from a little kid watching Disney Channel all day. I get it. It's hard to derive and get rid of all of that programming that you've received for the last 10 plus years. To undo that training within 2 to 3 years is not easy. This is why I'm saying that if you do not listen and apply this stuff on a consistent basis daily, what the world will give you and show you is always that simp stuff, that same stuff that's going to put you back in that same messed up mindset. So you have to be intentional about what you receive and listen to and actually apply in your real life. Otherwise, you're going to go back to being a simp because that's what the programming has for you. But some dudes just can't override it. And the problem is men think they can override it, but they can't. And that's where they get slipped up in their own lives. Now, if you're just a trick and you just admit it, that's one thing. You understand that, hey, bro, either I'm not trying to spit game or not trying to go through the process. I'm just trying to get to point B to point A to B really quickly. Here's $200 and I'm out. Some men have that strategy and some dudes just tricks. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying the strategies that some dudes have when it comes to women. But all this, women are the most innocent ones and always the victim and all of this stuff. I was watching a very interesting live stream by the Saint and Sinner, and that brother is the truth. That brother is the truth. He had a live stream recently that I would advise all of you to go watch, where he talks about how single mothers get their sons locked up. Very informative live stream that I would highly recommend for anybody to go watch after this live stream. It just makes too much sense, and it just goes to show you the mindset and how women are meant to be led and be followers of men. If you follow the leadership of a woman, you, my friend, will face the consequences of that. And just like me and every other person, we told you what it was. So when you guys go out there and you bump your head and realize the hard way, and then you lost a good significant amount of time and resources and got your heart broke, it's part of the game. And some things are just part of the game. Getting flaked on is part of the game. Getting lied to, getting your heart broke, getting cheated on is part of the game. That's part of the risk of getting married. That's part of the risk of getting into relationships. If you're scared and fearful of these things, don't get into them. But everything has a risk to it. There's always a price to be paid. Nicholas has a few comments that we have to read through. Women have high expectations. All women thinking they deserve the best guys, but it is what it is. work on ourselves, it's worth it. Yeah, Nicholas, we know these women are delusional, and they won't be saved either. They're just as lost as these men, and they won't be saved either. They're gonna be, children of the corn, and we just gotta let them be. We can't save everybody, bro. The answer I see is become so great you can choose out of multiple women. You don't have to settle. No, you don't have to settle. But you definitely have to have leverage. You definitely have to get into a leverage position. And that's really what we're saying, when you say self-improve, get into a leverage position where you're doing well financially and you have all the things that she wants. You can call your shots. So, and that's the thing, you're gonna scrape your knee in football. I mean, you're gonna get bumps and bruises and might get a concussion in football, but you don't stop playing football because of that. You're gonna get punched when you get in the boxing ring. You don't stop boxing. Yeah, you get rejected with women. Yeah, you do certain stuff with women. The shit don't work out. The only difference is the dudes that are the good that are good with women, they don't repeat the same mistakes. They don't keep getting cheated on because they don't keep selecting women that keep cheating on them. They don't keep getting divorced because they know that the child support system and the laws are angled against you. And the mindset of a woman, the average woman today, is to be a feminist, which hates men. So of course they're gonna pull the trigger on that. Especially if she can't lose. She's in a win-win scenario. And what guys have to realize is what you've been taught by Disney and all these, R&B music, all of this stuff, what you've been taught is completely opposite of what works with the woman. See, women are creatures of indirection. I remember one time that I had a girlfriend, and this is my ex from years ago, and she actually texted me, "Happy birthday today." Crazy story, right? And that just goes to show you that, women will always stick around if you're that person. Or, she truly liked you or loved you at one point. But I remember one day we had an argument and we were living together. And because we were living together because her roommate was being a jackass and she got kicked out. So I'm like, hey, you don't have any other, family or anything up here, so come live with me. We'll figure it out. So she was coming over here and she was living with me for a period of time of like 3 to 6 months. We got into this argument one time and she had left to sleep somewhere else in a different room. And, a lot of men would be like, try to go after her and try to, prove that, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that, all of that. I didn't do none of that. I appreciate it. Happy birthday. I appreciate it, Nicholas. I didn't do any of that. I didn't apologize. We had the argument. She went where she went. I stayed where I was. And that was that. You guys want to know what happened the next morning? The next morning, I'm getting ready for work, getting ready to head off to work. And she stops me as I'm about to walk out the door. And one thing leads to another. And so women respect the strength. I've seen it. Nicholas writes, just like working out in the gym, you push through every set, you get stronger. Just like with women, you learn, you adapt, and you get results. Yeah, 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 bro. That changed my entire mindset, bro. Homie, I've had arguments with strangers. I mean, not arguments, not like flat out like anger arguments, but I've disagreed with women in real life and then turned around and went on a date with them. So, yeah, guys, women, what they say and what they say and what they respond to, meaning that their actions are completely different. So a good 50% of what they say just doesn't mean anything. And that's part of why nice guys never win, because whenever a woman starts crying or whenever she shows some emotion, some anger, they intentionally go into the period of, oh, I'm sorry, or, what can I do to help? And nah, screw all that. She knew she was wrong. She just putting up a front in front of you because she don't want to look that bad in front of people or in front of you. But in the back of her mind, she knows she's wrong. I've called women some crazy, I wouldn't say crazy stuff, but some derogatory stuff, and they'll be like, the part of the game where you like roast them a little bit, and they'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And then they'll still keep talking to you, and then you'll still have intercourse with them. So, bro, yeah, bro, like listening to women, what they got to say, that means literally nothing. Definitely learn the hard way, like you said, because of their indirectiveness. Yeah, homie, and I'll never forget this. And this was man, I was mad at myself, bro, because I recognized what I did in the post of it. I remember I was talking to this chick in college, and um, I had like asked her over or something. Like we had went out to a coffee shop, and she was one of these types that was trying to be like in a good way and all this stuff, trying to present herself as a good woman and all this stuff. But I could see right through it even then. But she had, I had like asked her over, and like she had like flipped out, and in that moment, I couldn't decipher what she was doing. So I was like, okay, let me just retreat a little bit. So I was like, oh my bad, we don't have to do that and all that. We can, we don't have to do all that extra stuff. And she's like, you know what, I think we should just stop talking and all of that. And we had like stopped talking for like a couple of days because like, she was apparently turned off by that. And she takes us back. And this woman is like, she's a thick Latina too. That's why I kind of crumbled a little bit, because I'm like, I don't want to offend her. I'm like, damn. And that's what I'm saying. That's the thing of this live stream. Understanding women. Don't listen to what they say. And so she takes me back a couple of days later, and she calls me back, and she's like, oh, you're gonna apologize to me, or you're gonna do this to me? And me being a young, inexperienced man, I apologized to her because I was, she was bad. And that was that simp training I fell back into as a young man. But what I did notice as I was talking to her and apologizing to her, she seemed a little bit, in her tone, she seemed a little bit disheartened. It's like she wanted me to stick with what I wanted to see. It's like she wanted me to say, yeah, I still want you to come over. We ain't gotta do nothing, but nah, I want you to come over because I think you attractive. I think you a bad chick. That's what she wanted me to say. And she would have came over and she would have got pumped. That's what she wanted too. But as a young man, I couldn't notice that within the conversation. But I did notice that her tone switched. And then lo and behold, after that, we stopped talking, and I lost that opportunity. And that happened quite a few times in college. But yeah, guys, like, you have to snap out of that simp training that you've been taught, because it doesn't work. If a woman really didn't like what you said, or really didn't want want you, they wouldn't talk to you at all. They would cut it off immediately. They would ghost you, flake on you. So the fact that she's still texting you after you said a certain thing means that she's interested in directiveness. Excuse me. They like us when they view us as better than them, exactly. So if I just would have stood on all my 10 toes, like, yeah, I think you're attractive, and I want you to come over here and sit next to me, and we'll watch something. If I just would have said that, she'd have been like, he's a guy that knows what he wants, and I'm gonna stand on it. And she would have came over. I know for a fact she would have, because she was already highly attracted to me. And so, yeah, I've learned quite a bit about women just from college alone. I have some stories, bro. I have to consistently be aware that they will test. It's cold, but it's the game. And that's the thing, that's the other thing. And that you see, you guys are noticing if you're watching the replay and watching the replay, if you're watching currently, what me and Nicholas are talking about whenever we're talking about women and their different games and tactics that they play, the game is endless. They're always playing a game, doing something, and angling to get power and angling to see if you're weak or whatnot. Nicholas just wrote, have to consistently be aware that they will test. You have to always be consistent. Everything's a test. It's cold, but it's the game. Yeah, exactly. A lot of you guys would be shocked at how many women you could bag on the first night. But your fear stops you. And then you have the nerve to get mad at the dudes that get what they want on the first night. Big difference between the guys that know women and know the talking points of female nature and the simps. It's a huge difference between all three. And mainly the biggest difference is the experience. You pass the test when you react masculinely, and they warm up to you. They pretend to back off. It's a test to see you, to test you and your masculinity, exactly. And women, they're so subconscious. They don't even do this stuff, I don't think, consciously. They're naturally doing this stuff. It's just who they are. It's what women truly are. I mean, these nerds, they read these red pill books. I mean, not red pill books, but they read these books on female nature, and they still can't see what it really is in real life. They can read the strategies, but can't notice them in real time. And that's why it's essential for you guys to get experience with women. Yep, the worst thing you can become, guys, as we wind down the live stream, the worst thing you can become, guys, is a rich, wealthy simp. I mean, Nicholas, we've been in the game so long. Women, certain shit just comes natural to us. Watch their actions. Nicholas writes, like you said, decipher when they're truly getting to know you and want to spend time or / be with you compared to when they're merely testing. Yep, and that all this, what we're saying, takes experience, guys. You're not going to understand this stuff on a live stream. Go out into real life, mess up, fail, miss opportunities. And this is how we really should truly live our lives in every aspect. We should not be afraid of failure in any aspect of life, not just with women, but with anything, because everything has a risk to it. We should always bet on ourselves, no matter what. Because the world doesn't care about you, you have to care about you. People want to sell you and give you something that benefits them. It really does feel like Neo taking the red pill and becoming aware of the Matrix. Yeah. I mean, I understand the concept behind the red pill stuff, and I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You know, it's essentially just the truth, but, you know, all this stuff has been co opted because it's mainstream now and it's vilified, honestly. And a lot of guys that are being propped up in those spaces are not even red pill, they're co opters. So you guys send in your last little bit of comments, questions, donations as we wind down. Team Jesus, what's going on, man? Glad to see you in here. The women's hypergamy is always watching and testing, even if they are misguided and delusional with their assessments. Exactly. And I'm glad that you guys in here today, you understand that women's games are endless. Yes, hypergamy, the level up. Guys, you know, these nerds, they don't understand. Like, there's some guys that are tall that still suck with women. There's some dudes that have money that still suck with women. There's some dudes, well, the social status thing is not typically doesn't correlate because a guy that's popular is usually pretty charismatic and social. But a woman, like, look at Tom Brady. People will be like, well, if Tom Brady can't keep a woman, then nobody can keep a woman. Well, Tom Brady is focused on his craft and wants to work all day. And Giselle wants somebody that can be home by 5 o'clock. And so she actually downgraded by getting with that Brazilian jiu-jitsu trainer. We all would admit that Tom Brady is taller. I don't know if he makes more money. He probably does make more money. He's more well known than Tom Brady. But she cheated on him and left him and now has a kid with that Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. According to hypergamy and all these different, you know, nerd books, that would throw a monkey wrench in the game. It's because they don't understand women. Different women in certain parts of their lives, they don't care about, some women don't care about money. Giselle already has her own money. She wants a guy that can stroke her right and give her the attention that she wants and that loves her. She wants that attention. She already made the money, already traveled. So I'm glad that you guys understand that the game is really critical thinking. You know, not every woman is attracted to, you know, Brad Pitt or wants Brad Pitt or views him the same. You'd be astonished by how many guys that are celebrities, Drake and all of them included, that still get rejected by women. And you'd be like, well, damn, if he gets rejected, then I don't stand a chance. No, that's not how the game works. Some women don't care that you're a big R&B star. So different women are actually different, actually. You know, every woman, they have similar characteristics in how they act. But, you know, this woman might like missionary and the other woman might like doggy, the canine position. Some women can only orgasm through stimulation. So the strategies are ever changing, guys. Don't ever think that one strategy is the end all be all, and that you're gonna understand women by reading a book. You're gonna understand women by experiencing them. Hell, there's some dudes out here that get women all the time that don't make $1 million, and they sleep with more dudes, and they sleep with more women than some of these dudes that are successful, that you think would be bagging all the chicks, and he don't even have a job. Nicholas writes, for the most part, the more successful you are in terms of what attractive to women, combined with speaking to them well, behaving right, passing their tests, you'll have the pickings. Yeah, I mean, there's some things, I mean, you'd rather have these things than not have them, of course. You know, that's why I said all this stuff is critical thinking. So always analyzing the different strategies and moves. But we're gonna wind down this live stream. Again, I appreciate you, Nicholas. I appreciate you, Team Jesus. I appreciate you, Detroit Coalition, for coming in here on this on this nighttime stream. I appreciate the different visitors coming in, maybe watching for the first time, trying to gain something new or trying to learn something new. If you guys really like this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you guys like the video on your way out, Nicholas says, keep us sharp and on our game. You know, we got to always learn something. Got to always continue to level up and get better, and that's progress. And that comes through experience, putting our feet on the ground and getting the experience. So if you guys are watching the replay, hit the like button on the way out. I'll be hitting the live stream tomorrow morning. Look for me around 9 to 10 a.m. Got some stuff I got to do in the morning before. Won't be live streaming tomorrow night. Probably won't be live streaming the nights the rest of this weekend, but I'll be live streaming during the day the rest of the weekend. So you guys look for me either in the morning time or around noontime this weekend, but tomorrow I'll be in the morning. So again, I appreciate you guys coming in here. You guys have a good rest of your night. Get you guys some rest, and I will see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.